Picture this, a man standing tall and proud, his eyes blazing with unwavering determination. He's not defined by the land he stands on, his car, or the number of houses he owns. No, his worth is found in something far more profound. It's his unyielding refusal to accept anything less than what he deserves. His unwillingness to be held back by anyone or anything. In short, it's his ability to control his life and circumstances, no matter what. Get ready to discover what it takes to become a high-value man. You will find that it's not about how much bling you've got, but rather the amount of nonsense you refuse to accept. That's right, it's all about drawing a line in the sand and standing firm on your values, even when the going gets tough. Don Vito Corleone from The Godfather is the wise mafia boss that knew that greatness wasn't just a matter of genetics. He is famous for saying, "Great men are not born great, they grow great." By the end of this video, you too will find ways to become great. Are you ready? Let's dive in. 5. They never allow their appearance to slide. High-value men always dress for success. According to a study conducted by Kelton Research, apparently, not only do well-dressed men appear sexier, smarter, and more successful, they also have better luck in relationships. In fact, 91% of Americans think dressing well can make a man appear to be more physically attractive than he really is. Especially today, when human contact is so quick, all high-value men understand that fashion is an instant language. High-value men always want to be taken seriously and command respect, so they can't afford to appear shabby or unkempt, because apparently you exude confidence, sophistication, and intelligence when you dress nicely. And let's be real, who doesn't want to exude these fine traits? According to the Kelton study, the attributes associated with dressing well can even help you climb the corporate ladder. In fact, a whopping 75% of Americans think that well-dressed men are more successful in the workplace than their sloppy counterparts. And get this, 22% of men actually believe they'd make more money if they just stepped up their style game. Apart from good clothes, another thing you must wear all the time is pride. To be a high-value man, you gotta have style and always know that people will stare. Make it worth their time. 4. They don't care about what others think of them. Richard Feynman once said, "You have no responsibility to live up to what other people think you ought to accomplish. I have no responsibility to be like they expect me to be. It's their mistake, not my failure." In other words, you do you, and let the haters hate. Take a page out of Steve Jobs' book. The man started Apple in his parents' garage, got kicked out of his own company, and then came back and made it the most valuable corporation in the world. That's some serious energy right there. But let's be real, not everyone is going to be the next Steve Jobs. However, what every high-value man can do is refuse to let the opinions of others hold them back from pursuing their dreams. Don't let the fear of judgment or failure stop you from being your best self. Listen, seeking validation from others is a slippery slope to codependency and anxiety. You can't control how people perceive you, so why waste your time trying to please everyone? Instead, embrace your unique qualities and live by your own values. Be your own boss. And let's not forget what Lao Tzu said, "If you care about what other people think, you will always be their prisoner." So break free from that mental prison and do you. The world needs more high-value men who aren't afraid to stand out from the crowd and live life on their own terms. 3. They never seek validation. How much time do you spend on social media seeking the validation of others? Life is not a popularity contest, and high-value men understand this well. They do what's right because it's the right thing to do, not because they want recognition or validation. Seeking approval or praise is not their priority. Instead, they lead by example and serve as excellent role models for others. As Confucius would say, what the superior man seeks is in himself, what the small man seeks is in others. Elon Musk is a highly ambitious man who had a strong vision for building reusable rockets and electric cars, and didn't let anyone dissuade him. But the best part about Musk is that he doesn't care what anyone thinks. He is the king of Twitter, with his witty comebacks and off-the-wall ideas. He once tweeted that he was going to send a Tesla to Mars, and you know what? He actually did it. So, if you're ever feeling down and out, just remember, you don't need validation from anyone to pursue your dreams. 2. They never allow anyone to take advantage of them. High-value men realize that if they don't get the better of themselves, someone else will. They know their worth, and they don't let anyone take advantage of them. They're not afraid to speak up and defend themselves against manipulators and users. They're like a boss in the boardroom, and they won't let anyone make them look like a chump. Take the Wright brothers, for example. These guys were total underdogs in the aviation industry, but they refused to be pushed around by the big boys. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, aviation was a field dominated by wealthy and powerful individuals and organizations who were competing fiercely to be the first to achieve powered flight. Despite being relatively unknown and underfunded, the Wright brothers were able to outmaneuver their competitors and ultimately succeed in building a successful flying machine. One key to the Wright brothers' success was their refusal to be taken advantage of by larger and more established players in the aviation industry. When they first began experimenting with flight, they tried to work with the U.S. government and established aviation companies to obtain funding and support for their work. However, they quickly became disillusioned with the bureaucracy and politics of these organizations, which they felt were more interested in maintaining the status quo than in supporting innovative new ideas. Instead of giving up or compromising their principles, the Wright brothers chose to go their own way and fund their work through their own resources and ingenuity. They built their own wind tunnel to test their designs and relied on their technical expertise to build their airplanes from scratch. A true high-value man chooses to live outside of the hierarchy. He is not concerned with status or power and would rather be free than be chained to a job he hates. Never allow yourself to be taken advantage of. Stand up for yourself and know your worth. 1. They don't waste time talking too much. Silence ain't just golden, it's powerful. And don't you dare underestimate it, because when it starts speaking, it's louder than 1,000 volcanoes. High-value men know this all too well. They're not afraid to shut their mouths when it's necessary. They know that being loud doesn't make you strong, and being quiet doesn't make you weak. High-value men are the strong, silent type. They often use silence to test others, observing their reactions and gaining insight into their true thoughts and feelings. One example is the story of Gary Erickson, the founder of Cliff Bar, a popular energy bar company. In the late 1990s, Erickson was approached by a large private equity firm that was interested in acquiring Cliff Bar. Erickson was initially excited about the prospect of a big payout, but as he learned more about the firm's intentions, he began to have serious reservations. During negotiations, Erickson remained mostly silent, listening carefully to the private equity firm's offers and demands. He sensed that the firm was primarily interested in exploiting Cliff Bar's brand and intellectual property for short-term gain, rather than investing in the company's long-term growth and mission. In the end, Erickson chose to turn down the private equity firm's offer and continue growing Cliff Bar independently. His decision was risky, as it meant foregoing substantial financial payout, but it was in line with his commitment to building a sustainable and socially responsible business. In recent years, Cliff Bar has expanded beyond energy bars to offer a range of other products, including protein bars, granola, and nut butter-filled snack bars. The company has also introduced several new lines of products, such as Cliff Kids aimed at children and Cliff Builders marketed toward athletes. Even when it's difficult to remain silent, a high-value man remains calm and reserved, diffusing potential conflicts before they arise. Becoming a man of high value is a journey that requires commitment, dedication, and self-awareness. It's not about being perfect, but striving to be the best version of yourself. You will choose not to tolerate mediocrity. Always appear in the best way possible. Never bother about the opinion of others, and never seek validation or allow anyone to take advantage of you. All high-value men understand and value silence, and so must you.